Yeah, so we were down in Ames this past weekend for the Iowa State Classic, and conference is getting pretty close, so we're kind of narrowing down our season here, kind of peaking, getting into some really good shape. So this past weekend we had 45 top 8 finishes at the meet. With that being two event champions, Maddie McCullough in the 400 and Evan Long in the 200. We also had 4 athletes move up on the UNI all-time list, which is always an exciting thing to happen when we're starting to get close to conference, to have athletes running at their best and really moving up in the UNI history. That's always really exciting for us to see. Just a couple highlights from the different event areas. In the throws, Keegan Treidel, he's our shot put school record holder. He threw a season best in the shot, which has him sitting second right now in the MVCs. Allison Griffin had a huge personal best in the weight throw, which has her ranked sixth right now in the conference. In the sprints, we had some really great performances team-wise. Connor Ham and Cole Phillips went 2-3 in the 60 hurdles. And then Maddie McCullough and Taylor Rains went 2-3 in the 200-meter dash. Maddie ran a personal best in the 200, which now ranks her fourth all-time. And she's moving up in the 400. She's moving up in the 200. So she's going to definitely be in contention for a couple of titles coming into conference. Evan Long ran a personal best in the 200, which has him ranked second in the conference. He ran 21:34. Which has him ranked third all-time at UNI. So he's another one to watch going into the conference meet. He's really going to be a threat in the 2 and the 4 and the 4x4. So he's definitely someone we want on our side. Maddie's time in the 400, 55-1. She just keeps chipping away every week. She's still sitting number 4 all time at UNI, but she's taking time off every time she runs it. So that's really exciting to see. I think she's getting into some great shape and is going to perform really well here come conference. Michaela Cole, she ran her first 5K of the season. She ran 17:01, which was a personal best even off of her outdoor time from last year. That ranks her fourth in the MVC and also fourth all-time at UNI. And then our 4x4, they ran a season best time this last weekend. And they're sitting first in the conference. And, every time we go out there and run it, it's kind of a different group of guys, but they perform really well. And they're definitely, going to bring in their all come the conference meet. But yeah, we're really excited with where the team is at right now. I think they're making big strides every weekend. And this weekend we will head to Wisconsin for our last tune-up meet before the conference meet. And, we'll have some people who are fighting for some conference spots competing here this weekend and just kind of a final tune-up to get ready for the conference meet. So we're excited for some big performances and really just getting ready for conference here in 2 weeks. So, yeah.
What's the competition looking like at this shell shock event?
It's not quite as high level as last weekend. But it's really just a meet that they have, to get in those last couple races before the conference meet and see, who's going to be on that conference roster, or some athletes who haven't had a lot of races yet this season, to kind of get them tuned up and see if they're ready to compete at the conference meet.
Are there a lot of spots kind of still up for grabs for the conference meet, or can you share some?
Yeah. It always really comes down to this last weekend. You have your solidified ones. If someone's ranked in the top 8, obviously we're going to have them competing because we want them to score points at conference. But when we're looking at, potential DMR spots, 4x4, those sorts of things, like this last meet, really, it comes down to that. And so trying to figure out, who's going to get those last couple spots is pretty big, especially on a year like this when, our men's team is, has the potential to win the conference meet. All those athletes are really kind of gearing up for those final spots because they want to be on a championship team.
Do you hold anybody out, or do you want to try and run everybody?
We will hold some people out of this meet. Some of our athletes have raced every weekend since we've started the indoor season. And so this is kind of a weekend where we give it off, get in some good training just because next week's going to be fairly light since it's a big weekend with lots of racing. So our upper end athletes, they might take this weekend off, but that's always a great opportunity to give some of those younger kids or people who are sitting 12th to 10th in the conference a shot at potentially getting in the top 8. So it's always fun to see the young faces out there this last weekend and see people rising to the occasion. And you never know, somebody might make it onto the conference roster. They might run a top 8 conference leading time. So that's always exciting. And our throwers always do great at Wisconsin. I don't know what it is. They always just go off this weekend. Anything else? All right.